Hey YouTubers, it's Valerie with Money Mindset Coach, and today I'm going to be talking about things that the Amish do that I think we could all learn from. And I find some of these absolutely fascinating. The first time I ever saw the movie Witness with Harrison Ford, and how the whole Amish community, is in that, and you kind of see how they live. I've been fascinated with them ever since. And so these are tips. These are things that the Amish do. So let's get started. Number one, they eat at home. They don't go to restaurants very often. And if they do, it's for a special occasion. They don't just go just because they feel like going out to eat. They eat at home. And when you eat at home, you will spend less feeding your family than if you take them all out to a restaurant. And I know all of you know that going to a restaurant nowadays is extremely expensive because you don't have just the food that you're buying. You're paying for that food. You're paying for the person who made it. You're paying for the person who's serving it to you. You're paying for the building that you're sitting in to eat the food when you could just eat at home. And it's a whole lot cheaper. I have to say, I made lasagna for my Christmas family get-together, and I had lasagna left over because I made a lot, but I had two of my sons couldn't come, and so I have lasagna left over. And basically, I ate lasagna last night, and I ate lasagna tonight. And by the time I get done with this lasagna, I might be kind of tired of lasagna. But anyway, I'm eating at home. Drink water. Put it in a cup with a lid. It's easy nowadays. Water bottles are everywhere, and there's no reason to buy bottled water, but water is the cheapest thing that you can drink. I have a Brita water pitcher, so I filter it. There are more expensive ways to filter water, but I do what I can do, what I can afford to do. And that is how I filter my water. And so, yeah, I pay for the water that comes into my house, but maybe I pay $15 a month, Drink water, because water is the best thing for your body anyway, is water. Reuse glass jars. I just started doing that. I am going to put aside, glass jars because those are good. Those, from a recycling standpoint, those can be used again and again and again forever. Plastic, yeah, it's going to go after a while. But glass jars, before we ever had plastic, that's what people used. They used that all the time. Buy in bulk, but don't buy more than you can use. Because if you buy it and then you don't eat it and it goes bad, you've just wasted a lot of money. And nobody wants to waste money nowadays. So only buy the things in bulk. The only thing at Costco that I buy, because I live here by myself, I buy my laundry detergent, my fabric softener, frozen fruit, frozen anything. I'll buy. But any time that I have ever bought anything that is perishable, I can't eat it fast enough, and I've had to throw it away. And it was a waste. It was a waste. It was a waste of money. It's just not good. So only buy what you can actually use. And I pretty much stick to the non-perishables and frozen is what I do. Small farm garden. This coming summer, I really want to try growing some vegetables on my deck, do kind of like a container garden. My deck is raised up, so I have a lot of deer around here. The deer wouldn't be able to get to a container garden on my deck that's way up. So I think I want to try that, because when you grow your own stuff, you know exactly where it's coming from. It's not coming from a foreign country. The only other thing that I could think of to do is if you don't grow some of these things yourself, go to the farmer's market, in your town. I know there's one that we have here, and that is, support the local farmers. That is the best thing you can do. Preserving your food, I need to really work on doing that. I haven't done a whole lot of that, but I've wanted to do that. I actually found a book in Tractor Supply that talked about, it was actually an Amish canning book, so it kind of showed you how to do it. And I was looking at that. I haven't bought it yet, but there's a part of me that kind of wants to try that. Bake your own bread. I have a sourdough starter that I haven't started yet, but I know once I actually do this, I am going to absolutely love it. And when you do that, you're not going into the store and buying a loaf of bread anymore. You just keep making bread from your starter. And it's amazing. I mean, sourdough is one of the breads that, because of the less gluten in it, it's better for your gut. It's really a great bread. And I have people who have come into the Kitchen Boutique store, and I mean, they make pancakes, biscuits. They do all kinds of stuff with their sourdough starter. So the Amish know how to do that. They also fix things themselves. They're not going to pay somebody else to do it. And in the Amish community, even if a guy didn't know how to do it, he probably knows the guy down the road that does know how to do it. They help each other out a lot. And I think that's really cool that they do that. Never have an empty pantry. If you don't have an empty pantry, you're never going to be standing there at night not being able to put a meal together. That's really, really important, because that could be your excuse to go out to eat. Oh, I don't have anything. It's like when you look in your closet, I don't have anything to wear. So you go buy something. You have to keep that pantry full. They actually do a 1 day a month pantry inventory where they look at the expiration dates on things and they move those forward, and they just make sure that they know what they have. They eat it before it goes bad, before it expires, which is less waste. And they're just so smart that way. So smart that way. Name brands. Avoid them. Go into the store. Try the store brand. A lot of times they're made in the same factory and they're basically the same thing. They just have the store brand name on them. And they're a lot less usually. So do that. Use the reusable cloths instead of the paper towels. I think we've talked about that. Learn to sew. Oh gosh. I was not good in home ec. I was not good. I could see myself mending, learning how to hem and mend, putting a button on, that kind of thing. Even that's a good thing. But no, making an outfit, there's no way. I knew a lady who, she's still living. She's like 88 years old. But she had 3 daughters and 2 sons. And if her daughter daughter saw some picture of an outfit in a magazine or something. This woman could take newspaper and cut out a pattern and make it just by looking at the picture. That to me is a gift that I don't have. Absolutely not. Dry your laundry outside or use a drying rack. I do that. I want to put lines outside so I can dry sheets out there because I love that. The smell of sheets that have been dried on a line. Oh my gosh, best thing ever. Basically, the dryer uses almost as much energy as a fridge, which your fridge is running almost constantly. The dryer uses a lot of energy, and I did not know that before I investigated this. Learn to cut hair. I don't have to worry about that because I actually had a cosmetology license. I went to school for that, so I know how to cut hair. And I did that when my kids were growing up. So we saved a lot of money on haircuts. We did. Make soap yourself. I've thought about doing this. I think it would really be neat to learn how to make soap and maybe do that for Christmas presents. Because I truly believe that people enjoy getting something that is handmade, homemade. That takes more work. It takes more thoughtfulness to do that. And then that goes right along with this one, give handmade gifts, just goes right along with it. Don't give in to trends. I don't know what the trends would be that the Amish would give into, because they don't give in to trends as far as clothes, and they don't use electricity, so I'm not exactly sure what trend they're talking about, but we know what trends are, and it's not a good thing. Trends come and go. Natural remedies. There are things probably in the medicine cabinet, that are good. And this is what they did back in the Depression. They used the things they already had that were natural. They didn't have a CVS or a Walgreens to go down and buy the latest over-the-counter medicine. They had to come up with other things, and there are other things that you can use for remedies of things. Furniture from a thrift store. Sometimes there can be very, very solid furniture that is given and donated to a thrift store, where maybe the people don't realize when the piece of furniture has the dovetail drawers. That's a good piece of furniture. I lived across the street from a woman for several years that she would take old pieces of furniture that really didn't look all that good, and she would refinish them. And they looked positively beautiful when she got done with them. I was so impressed with that. Walking to your destination. I literally could walk to work. I'm not doing that right now because it takes me 15 minutes to get there, which is not a problem in the morning, but it would be a problem in the evening because it's dark by 5 o'clock. So the time is getting longer, the sun sets, so, as time goes by, I might be able to actually do that. I might be able to do that. Sharing tools and equipment. Why go buy it if you can borrow it from somebody? Maybe they need to borrow something of yours, you need to borrow something of theirs, and there's no money that has been spent. But you get the tool to do what you need to do, which is, who knows what you're using? You're fixing something. So you're fixing something, you're not paying somebody else to fix it, and you borrowed a tool from somebody that didn't cost you anything. That's a good thing. Simple cleaning solutions. Nowadays, we have this cleaner for this and this cleaner for that. There's only a few that you really need, you know? You don't need all those things that have the label of, oh, this is for this is for that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Grow your own herbs. I think I'm gonna do this. You know, fresh basil. I mean, there is nothing better than having that. Bartering. I remember when I was living in Texas, I don't think I'd ever heard the word barter before. But some of us in the church that I went to, we actually did that. And two bartering things that I did that I remember was when I was a hairdresser, and there were two women in the church that I went to. They both wanted perms, so I went to their house and did that. So because I did that, one of them was actually a fashion designer, and she actually made a vest and hand embroidered it and everything for what I did for her. That was really cool. The other thing is the other woman that wanted the perm, I gave her a perm. Her husband was an artist, and I had always wanted a drawn picture of the house that my grandmother grew up in, my mother grew up in. It was in our family for 70 years up in Chicago. And I still have that picture. I still have it, and I treasure it. I really do. But he did a charcoal drawing of my house from a picture that I had. And it was the neatest thing. And those were the two things that I bartered for. And they were absolutely wonderful. Scrap wood, I guess wood that's left over from some kind of project. If you have plywood left over, that can be used for something else. You know, you just have a collection of some scrap wood and you can find uses for that. Instead of going down to the hardware store and buying more, have that scrap wood. It'll come in handy and you'll be able to use it. Buy in-season produce. You know, I mean, growing the stuff is the best thing, but the in-season produce, that farmer's market, that's what you need to do, because you know that is what is in season. The stuff in the stores right now, because it's January, apples are not in season right now, but now we can have them all the time. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Do a weekly budget. Budgeting is very important. You need to know where your money's going, how much you're spending for things. You need to know that. Cancel subscriptions. I only have a few, and they are ones that I actually do watch. I got rid of cable a couple years ago, and I have never regretted it. Planning your meals. You know, I had a friend who, by 9 o'clock in the morning, she would know what she was making for dinner that night. She would already know, you know, that was a decision that was made. And so then she didn't have to think about it for the rest of the day. She already knew. Because sometimes you get down to dinner time and everybody's asking you, what's for dinner, what's for dinner, what's for dinner? It's not fun. I had that for many, many years. Use natural lighting. Today was a sunny day. So in my kitchen, I have French doors. And my French doors face west. It was a sunny day. There was a lot of sun coming in. It just so beautiful. It heated up the room. That was a good thing. I mean, because it was pretty cold today. But let the sun in. Let that solar heat work for you. And don't turn lights on. You know, if you open up your drapes, open up your curtains, that lets light in. Maybe you don't have to turn that light on, which is costing you money, but the sun coming in is completely free. Preserving the seeds from your garden. I had never thought about doing this, but you can do that. And then use them again. You don't have to go buy seeds. They're already there. Compost kitchen waste. I've wanted to do composting for the longest time, but I never have. But I do want to. I want to, and I do see the advantages of it. I just started doing this, unplugging appliances when not in use. So last night when I went to bed, I unplugged my coffee maker, my Keurig, my Vitamix, everything that was on my counter, I unplugged it. And that is saving, because those things being plugged in, they're still drawing some kind of energy even though you're not using them. And it's like, why do that? Why do that? Why pay for anything if you're not using it? All you have to do is plug it in when you want to use it and then unplug it. And that's what I've started to do that. Power down hour. I really need to do this. They say that an hour before you go to bed, you get off the phone, off the computer. Maybe you're not even watching TV. Maybe you just sit and read a book or something. And that can get you ready for bed. I think it's a great idea, and I need to do that. Make your own jam or jelly. I don't think it's really that hard. I want to do that. I really want to do that. Invest in quality cookware and bakeware. I have done that. What I have as far as my bakeware and my cookware, I have no need to buy anything. Everything I have is good quality, and it's going to last me a really long time. Really long time. This is something I've always wanted to do, is harvest the rainwater. That's amazing if you can do it. There's a little bit of work involved in doing it, but I have just put a bucket under my faucet or under my gutter, and I collected water, and then I watered plants with it. There's more that you can do with that water. You know, you can be a little bit more extensive with it, but you know, just putting a bucket under your gutter. I watered plants with water from the rain. So I've done that. Nature is the best entertainment. Going for a hike. I'm right here by the Missouri River. And I go down there and I'll sit on a bench and just watch the river go by. The Katy Trail, one of the long trails that used to be a railroad track. It's 2 miles from my house, and I walk my dog there, and it's beautiful. Any time of year, even right now in January, it is. Make your own herbal skincare. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but that would be pretty cool. Repair, don't replace. No need. Repair it. I think we live in a throwaway society. Something breaks, we don't think of fixing it unless it's a car, you know, or your house or something. But some of these other things, I think a lot of you probably remember the Andy Griffith Show and Emmett's Fix-It Shop, where he would fix a toaster. He would fix these different things. People don't fix those things anymore. They throw them away and they go and buy another one. No, fixing it is better than replacing it. Saves money. There are candles that the Amish make that are bug repellent candles. Layer clothing strategically. I mean, we all know that during the wintertime, layers really work well. It all comes down to the layers. And they know how to layer their clothes to stay warm, because when they're outside, and I mean, they're doing the horse and buggy thing, so they have to know how to stay warm, and that's how they do it. Thermal curtains. You know, you can keep a lot of cold out with a thermal curtain, and I have had them before. I don't have them right now, and I probably should, but they keep a lot of the cold. But if it's sunny, open them up so that sun can come in, and you can take advantage of that too. But I think the number one thing that the Amish do is they are content with what they have. And that, to me, contentment is everything. If you're content, I think your stress levels are low. You're not wanting for anything. You don't feel like you're keeping up with the Joneses. You don't really care what they have. You're content with what you have. And I gotta tell you, you could be living next door to somebody who has the newest car, new furniture, all that stuff, but maybe they're in debt up to their eyeballs. I would rather be out of debt and have my old stuff that still does the job than anything new to be in debt for. Absolutely not. So anyway, that is Amish tips. How they do it, how they live, and if anybody knows how to live frugally, it's the Amish people. Very fascinated with them. So anyway, if you found value, like and subscribe. And hope to see you in the next video. Like I always say, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Till next time, bye.